You grabbed it thinking, healthy snack. But that protein bar might just be a candy bar in gym clothes. It says, high protein, zero sugar, fit fuel. But read the ingredients. Most protein bars are loaded with sugar alcohols, artificial flavors, and ultra-processed junk. Maltitol, sorbitol, sugar alcohols that can cause bloating, gas, diarrhea, soy protein. Isolate, heavily processed and stripped of nutrients, artificial sweeteners like sucralose and acesulfame. K, linked to gut imbalance and insulin resistance, palm oil, gums, and synthetic flavors, just to mimic the texture of a Snickers bar. Some bars have more calories and sugar than a Snickers, just with extra chemicals. And zero sugar? That often just means replaced with fake stuff your body hates more. Look for whole food-based bars, dates, nuts, protein from real sources. Avoid anything with a paragraph of ingredients. Better yet, make your own. Oats plus nut butter plus protein. Done droppy emoji if you've ever eaten a protein bar that felt suspiciously like candy. Like, share, and follow for more truth bombs hiding in your snack drawer. This is Season 2 of the Dark Truth series, and we're just getting started. So I want to start this episode by talking about a little bit of a controversial topic, and that is protein bars. So here's what I want you guys to do. Go look at the ingredient list of your favorite protein bar, and then come back and watch the rest of this video so I can tell you why your favorite protein bar may not be all that healthy. Now, I'm not going to go after any particular brand because I don't think that would be fair, so I'm going to be talking in generalities. Okay, let's dive in. The first two ingredients in most protein bars are either maltitol or sorbitol. Now, both of these are sugar alcohols, and they actually add bulk to your stool, which gives you the sensation of fullness and keeps you regular. So if you see those two ingredients, definitely get the runs. Also, the other thing is that they taste very sweet and kind of like alcohol. So those are typically the first two ingredients, and they're usually a sugar alcohol that companies will use as a bulking agent to make the protein bar feel a little bit more dense. And then the second ingredient, it varies depending on the protein bar, but it's something like soy protein isolate. Now, if you have no idea what soy protein isolate is, it's highly processed. It's been stripped of its nutrients. It's basically like the leftover material after you've extracted all the oil from the soybean. And so it's a very concentrated form of protein. And yes, it is safe to consume, but it's definitely ultra-processed, and I wouldn't consider it a health food. The next few ingredients are usually some type of artificial sweetener, such as sucralose, also known as Splenda, or acesulfame K, which is sold under the brand name Sunnit. Both of these are controversial, and they've been shown to alter the microbiome of your gut, which can lead to leaky gut syndrome and insulin resistance. So if you see those two ingredients, definitely avoid the product. Next, you'll see palm oil. Now, palm oil has gotten a bad rap lately because they've found that they've been deforesting the rainforests of Southeast Asia to grow more palms to extract the oil from the palm fruit. However, palm oil is quite versatile. It's used in tons of different things, including biofuel. So I don't necessarily think that the palm oil itself is bad. My concern with palm oil in a protein bar is that it doesn't really serve an important purpose other than adding calories and fat that probably are unnecessary. And then there's also other oils such as canola or corn or sometimes coconut oil. And again, I don't think the oils themselves are bad, but I question their necessity. I mean, if you're going to eat a protein bar, it's already going to be high in fat and calories. So do we really need the added palm oil? Next, you have something called gums. Gums are used as stabilizers, emulsifiers, and thickeners, and typically they are derived from either plants or minerals. For example, one of the most common gums you'll see listed as an ingredient is guar gum. Guar gum is a natural polysaccharide made from the guar bean, and while it's considered safe, it can cause bloating and stomach discomfort when consumed in large amounts, which is something you don't want in a product that's supposed to make you feel energized. Then there are the synthetic flavors. Now, this is interesting because we've been conditioned to believe that if something is natural, it's good for us, and if something is synthetic, it's bad for us. Well, I want to point out that naturally occurring does not always mean safe or healthy. For example, arsenic, natural, not safe. And conversely, Synthetic does not always mean unhealthy. For example, vitamin C, synthetic, healthy. So we shouldn't always make assumptions based on whether something is natural or synthetic. We should look at the specific chemical and research it. For example, in this protein bar, the synthetic flavor may be a synthetic version of chocolate, vanilla, or some other flavor. And just because it's synthetic does not mean that it's unhealthy. It just means that they synthesized it in a lab. Now keep in mind, there are some synthetic flavors that are definitely bad news, especially for kids. For example, some people have even linked certain food dyes to hyperactivity in children. And there's enough evidence to where the FDA requires a warning label on foods that contain them. So I'm not saying that all synthetic flavors are safe, but we shouldn't assume that they're automatically bad just because they're synthetic. So now we've gone through all the ingredients and I've told you why I personally do not consume protein bars. But what are my options? Well, one option is to just avoid all protein bars. I mean, if you look at the ingredient list of most protein bars, they're pretty much candy disguised as a health food. They have sugar alcohols, artificial colors, synthetic flavors, highly processed ingredients. So you might just want to stay away from them altogether. Another option is to find a protein bar that has fewer ingredients. I mean, ideally you want something that has a very simple ingredient list. Maybe it's dates, maybe it's nuts, maybe it's a protein powder. You want to avoid anything with a paragraph of ingredients. And a third option is to just make your own protein bars. And I'm going to put a recipe down below. But essentially, you take oats, you mix it with nut butter, you add some protein powder, maybe you add some seeds and you roll it up and that's it. In minutes, you have a homemade protein bar. You control the ingredients. You know exactly what's in there. And it's definitely better than grabbing a protein bar that has 20 different ingredients. Now, this isn't the first time I've talked about protein bars. If you want to watch another video where I talk about protein bars, I'm going to recommend that you check out this video right here, where I discuss the top 3 protein bars that are actually healthy. Again, this is a controversial topic. I'm sure there's going to be comments about how some of the protein bars that I dislike are actually great, and vice versa. The fact is that everyone has their own opinions. Just remember that everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but not to their own facts. So I just wanted to shed some light on protein bars because if you're trying to lose weight or improve your health, you definitely want to avoid the fake protein bars that are nothing more than candy in disguise. I hope this video was helpful. And if it was, please hit the like button and subscribe. If you'd like to ask me a specific question about nutrition, fitness, or your health, please become a patron on a platform. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon.